Hello and welcome back to our podcast. My name is Dr. Alison Chiwara. I'm the CEO and founder of Human Focus Limited, a company or organization that is truly dedicated to creating happier and healthier workplaces, communities, societies, workforces, most importantly, nations. Thank you for joining me on this particular podcast episode. And I'm glad that you're here. Today, our podcast is going to be about leadership identity. Becoming that sort of leader that your soul, only your soul, recognizes. What does your leadership voice sound like when the lights are off, when the emails are unanswered, when things are not going so well, when your title isn't echoed back to you in admiration? Who are you then? Who are you? This is not a question of power. It's a question of identity. And today on this episode, we're going to talk about something that often gets overlooked in the corridors of strategy and influence. It's our leadership identity. Not the one that was assigned to you, but the one your soul truly recognizes when you're sitting with yourself. Who are you? Who are you? In every culture, leadership wears different faces or different titles. For example, in Africa, a chief sits under a tree to hear the people's grievances, or that was at least olden day Africa. In Japan, a good leader is one who listens before he speaks. In Africa, elders lead with silence before words, then you know this is serious. In Scotland, leaders often rise from among its people. Quietly, patiently, because some have to wait long before they are positioned, until their integrity echoes louder than any of the announcements that may come later on. But you see, in every case, in every single case, leadership, real leadership, is not an attire. It's a process. It's not a title. It's a process. There's trust. There's integrity involved. I want to touch a little bit on neuroscience here. Your brain remembers who you were before you wore any titles. It tracks patterns, not job titles or roles. So if you lead with fear, your brain signals defense. Do you see this? If you lead with scarcity, it activates survival mode all the time. But if you lead with a grounded identity, rooted in your alignment to this purpose and vision, empathy and vision, then your whole nervous system invites others to do exactly the same. I have seen this at play. Leadership identity isn't just about the emotional bit, it's also biological. And people you lead can feel it before you speak. Did you know this? They can. You know, there's a saying that translates in Shona along the lines of, don't think leadership is about lifting your chest or pumping your chest. Sometimes it's about bowing down. Mama would say, usafunge kutungamirira ndokusumudza kana kuzvidunumbanza. Dzimwe nguva kutungamirira kutokotama nekupfugamira vamwe. And you know what? She was right. I've been in rooms where the most strategic person couldn't read the emotional temperature, where leaders clung to theory while the people drowned in reality. Hey, I hope that someone is hearing me. I have been in rooms, I have been in meetings where the most strategic person leading cannot read the emotional temperature or atmosphere. And people are drowning in reality of what is actually happening in that room or in that moment. I've seen leadership crumble, not for lack of ideas, but for lack of identity. Because who are you? You see, the truth is, when the camel's back breaks, when deadlines slip, when health falters, when staff morale is vanishing, will you be the leader that carries the room? Can your leadership do that? Or will you be the leader whose title echoes even in empty rooms? Think about it. I want to talk about a moment that changed me, perhaps. I once worked with a senior executive, brilliant on paper, charismatic on camera, name it. But when one of his team broke down in a meeting after losing a parent, he froze. Not because he didn't care, but because his leadership identity was built on performance. Titles that cannot be broken. Titles that don't allow them to be human when they need presence. It was tough to watch. Tough to watch. He later admitted to me, years later, that I don't know who to be without all of the choreographing. It shook me. Because how many of us lead from these choreographed roles, from boardroom templates that forget people are grieving, surviving, and rebuilding, that forget that people are still human at the back of their work titles? And what happens when we push too far without seeing the fragility in others? We lose them, right? We end up with empty desks and empty chairs. There's a silent crisis here. We are living a time when people are leading without anchoring. Too proud to be vulnerable. Too rushed to be still. What are we running away from or to? Too focused on strategy to notice what the culture is in the room and that the culture perhaps is cracking. Let's be honest. How many visionaries have we watched build empires, build projects that are unbelievable? But at the back of it, we start to see them lose themselves. How many teams have burned out under leaders who never learned to say, I need your help, or thank you, or I appreciate you. Leadership identity is not just what you say. Please hear me out. It's how your presence makes others feel. How you are present for others when they need you. How you become emotionally available when your team needs you. How you make your presence known even when you can't be of assistance. And when it's missing, the cost is silent, but it's so severe. I hope I'm speaking to a leader that needed to hear this. I hope so. It's a crisis. We have a crisis in leadership identity. And how do we fix it? Well, ask yourself, allow me to, let's just pause here for a moment. What part, and these are questions that you truly need to answer yourself, what part of me leads from all other things but not purpose. Who do I become when my title is removed? Who do I become when I lose control of the things around me? Am I building a brand or becoming a leader my soul actually respects? Have I hurt those serving my vision because I couldn't see their fragility? Please breathe with me. Let it settle. And as you do, look into the mirror of your own soul. I trust that the mirror will be kind, but honest with you. There are leaders who leave legacies of numbers, and those who leave the fragrance of who they truly were. One disappears with the spreadsheet, the other lingers in people's memories for a very long time. Be the one who lingers. There's a verse that often speaks to me. Isaiah 42 verse 3. A bruised reed will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not snuff out. Let that be your leadership model. That even in pressure, you don't break what's already bent. Are you with me? Even in fire, you don't extinguish someone else's last flame. Thank you very much. Lead gently, but I also want you to feel that you can lead wholly and lead with your true identity. You don't need to create a facade to lead. You need to continue to evolve in your becoming the leader that speaks to your soul. And you know, the reality, I know this sounds a little bit of a cliche. The world is aching for leaders whose soul matches their strategy. So here's my gentle nudge. Be brave enough to drop the mask. Honestly. Be present enough to notice the room, to notice the world around you, to notice those who are supporting you, your partners, your children, your family, your friends, and be human enough to remember that titles fade, but how you made people feel, that may live forever. So until next time, please do stay grounded. Continue becoming a better version of yourself, and may your leadership reflect the truest version of who you are truly becoming. And I hope that through this small session or episode, you too can find your leadership identity. For now, from me to you, it's goodbye. From Human Focus Limited to your organization, your communities, your nations, it's goodbye until next time. Tune in again next Wednesday. And I trust we continue to learn from one another. Ciao for now.